Hi, tonight's part 3 of my Italian series. We're making the dessert cannoli. Here are the ingredients that you need. For the cannoli filling, you're going to want a 32-ounce container of ricotta cheese and 2 cups of powdered or confectioner's sugar. You're also going to need some cheesecloth to drain your ricotta cheese. Now, if you don't know where to find cheesecloth, this is really easy. I found this in the grocery store section right there where those aluminum meatloaf pans are. Also, you want something to pipe your filling into your cannoli. If you don't have a pastry bag and tip, then just find a 1-gallon Ziploc baggie. You can clip off the corner of that and it works just fine. You're also going to be adding just a little bit of Amaretto to the filling, some diced cherries, and cinnamon. At the very end, after that's been in the refrigerator for a while, you'll be folding in some mini chocolate chips. Okay, we're going to drain our ricotta cheese over a few layers of the cheesecloth in a colander. We're going to put this in the refrigerator for just a couple hours. You can also leave it in there overnight if you want to do your shells and the filling in 2 different days. For the cannoli shells, you need 4 cups of flour, sifted, 3 tablespoons of room temperature butter, as well as 2 tablespoons of shortening, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 3/4 cup Marsala wine, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. You're going to need a margarita glass or something like this that you're going to be putting on the dough once it's rolled out and cutting around it, and then that shape goes around one of these. This is a cannoli form. You can get 4 cannoli forms from your local kitchen store for about, I think these were $12 to $14 for all 4 of them. And you're gonna roll out your dough 1/8 inch thick. So if you don't have a pasta roller, you can just use a regular rolling pin. Then you're going to be putting those into a deep pan of oil. It doesn't have to be this deep, but anyway, a pan of deep oil that is approximately 180 degrees Celsius, which would be 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so let's get our dry ingredients going. We'll make our ball of dough, let it rest for a couple of hours, and then we'll roll it out. Okay, so I sifted in the dry ingredients first, then I cut in the butter and the shortening like this until there were no longer big chunks. There were just little pea-sized pieces of butter and shortening. Then I added the wine just a little at a time, teaspoon at a time, and fluffed it with a fork until I got the consistency of a ball of dough like you're seeing here, where you can take it and press it into a ball of dough. Then you can put it out, like I said, on a towel or a board or something that you're going to use a rolling pin with. Dust your counter or board with some flour. Press out your ball of dough and dust it lightly on top so the rolling pin doesn't stick. And you can continue rolling until you think that you have an even 1/8 inch thick piece of dough. But what I did is I went through the pasta maker. Send it through, then you fold it in thirds again, send it through again, and this just keeps making it smoother and smoother. You're going to take your margarita glass around the glass, put around my cannoli form, and I'm going to seal it a little bit of egg just on the edge. Okay, so wrap it around the form, the cannoli form. And right there where you have the edge, put some egg solution there. Seal it. And then leave it on the form for frying time. Here are the first two draining on paper towels, lightly golden brown. They only took about 2 minutes, and I have the other ones in now. I'm just doing them 2 at a time. To remove the shells from the cannoli forms, simply grab the cannoli form and gently slide the cannoli shell off of the form. The cannoli shells can be stored in an airtight container for up to 3 days at room temperature, so you can fill them later. For the filling, I have 2 cups of powdered sugar, the drained ricotta cheese, 10 cherries that I've chopped up very finely, and I'm also going to strain them over some cheesecloth as well. You don't want any juice in the ricotta cheese or it'll turn the ricotta cheese red. Take your ricotta cheese, put it in there in your bowl with your powdered sugar. We're going to put in 1 tablespoon of Amaretto. Now that your cherries are drained, you can add them. I'm going to squeeze them a little bit more with the back of the spoon. You can add your cherries now. Okay, we're going to mix this all up. Okay, I had said 1 teaspoon cinnamon. I would put in 2 teaspoons cinnamon. Okay, let me taste that. That's perfect. You get a little bit of taste of the ricotta cheese, but it's sweet. You taste a little bit of the amaretto. You taste the cherries just slightly, and you taste the cinnamon just slightly. It's all just really subtle. It tastes really good. Okay, let's put this in the pastry bag and pipe it into the cannoli. All right, so I've added 1 cup of miniature chocolate chips to the filling. And now I've added it to my pastry bag, or you can put it in your 1-gallon Ziploc baggie. Push it down and cut off the size it's going to fit inside the cannoli well and allow the chocolate chips to get through the hole. Fill from the inside of the cannoli in the center, halfway through is what I'm trying to say. Start halfway through and go to the end, then turn it around, start in the middle again, and go to the end. Do you see? All right. Halfway through, to the end, halfway through, and to the end. Okay. Now I'll show you how I'm going to decorate the ends. So here are your 4 cannoli. What I'm going to do, decorate 2 of them the traditional way with the little half cherries on each side. And on those, I've got a little sprinkler of cinnamon that I'm just going to sprinkle cinnamon over the tops of those for a little bit of dusting of something. The other two I'll do with powdered sugar. And on the ends of the other two, I'm going to dip them in some pistachios, which is another traditional way to do the ends of cannoli. And now we have the red and the green Italian colors. And we'll add a little white. So we have the white, red, and green. You can see that. And then I have this chocolate, this wonderful dark chocolate that I'm just going to squiggle back and forth on top. Well, I just had one and they're absolutely perfect. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Italian video as well as my other Italian videos. Arrivederci.